Hello, my human fellows and my fellow humans. What are you guys up to today? I just dumped some banana peels and some pear peels right here by the forest because that is a wildlife track and I have another wildlife track right there. So I figure if they get used to me feeding some kind of yummies every now and again here, I'll make it more of them here and I might be able to film them easier. At least when she's out of the cone, because right now she's loud. I was trying to I was trying to film a deer that was here yesterday and that was barking quite a lot and was really upset and agitated by something. But we were walking on the road and she just dumps a cone, and when that cone hits the road it's loud, so it took off. And I listened back to what I filmed, and the deer barking, you couldn't hear that. You heard me and you heard her cone. And she's off. Bye-bye. Off into the wood with the cone. Yeah, that's a good... she's gonna get stuck. Yeah, there we are. She's stuck. She just... Oh, seriously? She just gets stuck everywhere. I think she's thirsty again. It's not that warm today, but it's humid and it's windy. Not right here because protected by the trees, but oh yeah, that's seriously, that cone. I'm coming. Oh yeah. She just does that. She just mows her way through. She just presses until the cone gives up, or whatever she's pushing on gives up. She almost pushed me down the stairs yesterday. She wanted to walk faster than I did. And she just jammed that cone in the back of my leg and just pushed all she had. So, yeah, that cone. Her eye is a lot better. I sent pictures again to the vet this morning before I cleaned it. So her eye looks amazing right now. They want us to come in for just a quick checkup next week. So I need to get some money for... See that? Healing really nicely. And the infection is coming down. It's not as swollen anymore. It's still infected, but it's not as swollen and it's not that much pus anymore. So that's awesome. So... I'm out of breath. There's a lot of pollen in the air and I didn't take my meds today. I suck at taking my allergy pills. So, heavy breathing. Some of you might be into that. I don't know. I seem to remember back in the day when you called a guy and you breathe heavily in the phone that they were kind of excited about that. Until you told them that you had asthma. Well, I kind of got disappointed. I don't know. Oh, the wind calmed. Oh, it's actually quite nice right now. The wind kind of comes and goes. I was gonna sit down back here for a bit just to check out the birdhouse and see if someone is around. But I tried that this morning too, but this girl is just happy camper. It was colder this morning, mate. So maybe that's why she was so... Oh yeah, that's definitely something here. Are you a grey tit or a willow tit? I don't know. It's up there somewhere. Let's see if I can spot it. Kind of hard to spot it myself first. I can't see it through the phone before I zoom in. It's up in this pine anyway. And this pine here. She's a bit loud. She's a bit violent too with that cone. Hi. Oh, you should have seen yesterday. We walked in a place where there's quite a lot of sand. And she was just jamming down. So the whole bottom side of her cone was just filled with sand. So every time we've been for a walk, I have to clean both first the cone and then her like head and face, and then I can clean the wounds. So it's like, but she's worth it. I know I would make it easier on myself if we just walk on the road because she wouldn't get much dirt and stuff. But She's so happy running around here loose. Yeah, we already checked if there was any deer babies here, and there's not, so she's okay to run loose now. Yeah, she's okay. She won't scare any. No, because there's no one here. Yeah, that's good. Oh, scratchy, scratchy. Yeah, that's good, scratchy. You have a lot of grass in your mouth. Do you know that? Huh? That side is healing fine too. We had a bit of oozing from it yesterday too, but not too bad. And it's gone away now. So we're good with that part too. Let's see if I can see that bird. Actually quite warm and nice to sit here. Apart from the wind, and now the wind is picking up again. It's kind of humid today, so the laundry takes its time to dry. Okay, now we're laying down. Oh, we're lazy. Let's see. Got quiet. Whenever the wind picks up, it gets really quiet. And then the wind calms down and all the birds start chirping again. It's still up there. I can hear it. Just can't see it. Hi. My booby. My little poopy poop. My little poopy. Yeah, my little poopy. You're pushing me. Hi, welcome to the cone. Okay, you're a bit violent with that cone. And she won't let me sleep. Actually, we managed to sleep 5 hours last night, so that's the best night we've had so far. And then she started to push me with the cone and kind of wanted attention. So yeah, but she's doing good. She's eating fine. She's taking her meds. She's letting me treat her wounds, even though she's not really happy about it. And why are you standing like that? Move your butt. There we go. Hi. Hi, ConeDog. Hi. Oh, that was a good spot. Oh yeah, that's the spot. That's the spot. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Ooshy, ooshy, oh. Yeah. The birds also might be quiet because I'm chatting. Could be. Okay, I'm giving up. You know what? You gotta move, or I can't get up. There we go. Anyway, so everything seems to be going fine with her for now. I'm not taking anything for granted. It can change really fast when you're talking about an old animal and any kind of surgery and stuff like that. So, did you guys hear that? She just jammed this cone right into the ground. Hi. What? Come on. Yeah, so my plan anyway was to leave some yummy stuff. So now I had a pear and an apple. Not apple, a pear and a banana. And I left the peels back there. And I figure if they kind of learn that there's treats over there, maybe more will come take a look. So maybe I get a chance to film more stuff. I also need to bury my bunny. Time to do that because the ground is getting softer. He's in the freezer. My poor little bunny. He didn't get buried last year because my body was too bad. That was a sad story too. So anyway, I was used to breed bunnies and guinea pigs and hamsters and stuff for. We went to shows like, you know, cat shows and dog shows where you compete, different breed classes and all of that. So they had like registered pedigrees and all of that stuff. But then I started getting more and more allergic, and then my friend got allergic and she stopped. So I was pretty much the only one in this area that did that, and all the competitions were like hours and hours and hours away. So I couldn't afford to keep going to the competitions, and my allergies were picking up. So I just stopped breeding and just let, you know, the animals that I had just have a happy retirement until they got, you know, old and all of that stuff, and it was time to let them go. And after that, I didn't get any more bunnies. And then my ex called in April 2 years ago. I said, hey, I think I have a bunny outside. And we don't have wild bunnies here. We only have hares. How you say that? We don't have bunnies. So I was like, no, that can't be. Because they didn't used to be any like families with small children living near him or so either. So we was like, what bunny? They took pictures of it, and it was a small black bunny. And we were like, what? And then it came out that a family that had just moved in, their bunny had escaped. And let's do that with the little bunny fingers I have, but you know, escaped. And he was wild there, and he kept telling them he's living here, and he was kind of feeding it so it would, you know, come to him. So when they wanted the bunny to catch the bunny, it would be easier because the bunny wouldn't be completely wild. And it must have been quite young too, because it grew during that time, so it wasn't fully grown when it escaped. And it was winter. I mean, it was cold and stuff. And one day my ex saw that it had a huge wound on its back. There was like no fur, nothing on its back. And he was like, oh. And he tried to catch it and so on, but every time he tried to catch it, it took off. He could like feed it from the hand, but it just, you know, grabbed whatever he had and then ran. See how green it is? So he couldn't really catch it, and I asked him, well, don't you have like the live wild traps? Because he used to, they had I think it was beavers or something, and they needed to get moved, so he made like this wild trap to catch the animal alive so it could be moved. I said, don't you still have those? And he found one of them, and he started feeding the bunny under there so that he could, you know, trap it when it was time. And the owners weren't too interested. He kept telling them that the bunny was there. They never came to his place to look for it. And then they started to tell him and the neighbors to shoot the bunny. That's when I stepped in and said, no, that's enough bullshit. We're gonna catch this thing. So I went to see my ex for some other reason. I don't remember what it was, but I ended up staying, and I said, I'm gonna catch this guy. And he went into the cage, into the trap. I pulled there's like a wooden stick that held it up, and I pulled it away, and the bunny was trapped. And I immediately, you know, picked it up, and it was friendly, and I could pet it and everything. It was really friendly and a very nice bunny. Very strong-willed though. So I took it in the car, drove over to the family that it had escaped from, and said, hey, here's the bunny. And they was, oh, I didn't think anyone would ever be able to catch that. Oh my God, and it even survived. And oh, he was like, all of that, you know. And I was like, there was something, you know, a bit odd about it. Just the way he acted about it. But anyway, so I started talking to him about it, and it turned out that he didn't know squat about bunnies. He didn't know anything about them. So I was like giving them advice about what to do and how to do it and how to hold it and how to, you know, handle it and what it needed and all of that stuff. They were completely clueless, and that was horrible. So I said, you know what, if you don't want it, then I will take it. So that was, I think it was on a Friday or something. It was right before the weekend, Thursday or Friday. On Monday, I got a text from him saying, hey, if you don't want it, we're gonna, you know, put him down. And I was like, I'm picking up. So just hopped in the car, because I still had some cages left and stuff from my old bunny, so I didn't need more than food, because I had everything else. And it was by this time it was like August, so there was plenty of grass and stuff. And my friend had horses at the moment, so I could get hay from them and so on. So I just hopped in the car and went to get it. And they couldn't even catch it. And I was like, I just sat down, cornered it, and lifted up. It was no issues, no problem at all. And this bunny he was such a personality. He was so funny. He was like all over the place. I mean, I had him loose in the kitchen. I put him in the cage during the night when, I couldn't keep an eye on him. But apart from that, I mean, he was everywhere. If I was eating, he hopped up in my lap and tried to steal my food. When the dog was eating, he pushed the dog away and, ate her food, and did the same with the cats. He hopped up on the cat tree. I never had a bunny that hopped up on the cat trees before, ever. But he hopped up in the cat trees, messing with the cats. He wouldn't let them sleep because he was like, hey, do you want to play? He was like such a personality, absolutely wonderful bunny. Of course, my allergies kicked in because hay. I mean, I'm not allergic to bunnies. I'm allergic to the hay. So I was constant on allergy meds and tired and stuff, but he was so worth it. He was such a wonderful. And then one day he was not himself, because usually, he had a little activity ball, for cats that we put treats in. That was his, and he loved playing with that. And he came when I called, and he was like, he's really forward bunny, and he was guarding the door. If someone came, he was like straight there. Who are you? What are you doing here? Are you allowed in the house? Yeah, okay, fine, come on in. And then he was like, he wasn't afraid of anyone or anything. He was just like really forward, really pushy, really curious and funny and smart. So, and then all of a sudden he was just, nope, I'm not gonna eat. And I was like, and it happened that fast. He went from stealing food from the table the evening before, and the morning after he was like, I don't want to eat anything. And I tried all kinds of foods. Nope, nothing. And I knew something bad is going on. So I called the vet. I said, I need to come in quick. And of course it was a Friday. It's always a Friday they get sick. And we went into the vet, and they were like fully booked, and they had already several emergencies. So we were like, any vet that had, a little time over came in and had a look at him, and they kept telling me, it's the teeth. And I said, no, it's not. This happened this fast. It doesn't happen that fast when teeth. Yeah, it can happen, la, 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 la. And I was like, no, it's not. And the whole day went, and it was late afternoon. I hadn't eaten anything. I was hungry. I was tired. I was sad. And I could see my bunny just getting sicker and sicker and not moving around. Usually if you let go of him in a room, he just go explore everything. And now he just hopped a little bit around the chair where I was sitting, and then he just lay down close to my foot. So I picked him up, and he was like, that's not him. He was like all over the place, always checking everything out, always messing with everyone. So this was not him. And they said, well, we booked an appointment for fixing his teeth on Monday. And afterwards I was like, why the heck did I go home? But I trusted them. They had checked him over several times. They had given him extra fluids. He had like this lump of fluid on his back and everything. And I was like, but it felt wrong leaving. And hindsight, I regret leaving and going home. I should have, kept pushing. But I've been there all day, since early morning to practically when they closed. And again, emergency trip to the vet cost extra. We don't have a booked appointment and all of that stuff. Thankfully, I had insurance on him. But they did like several treatments, and I was like, doesn't feel right. He's either eating something, because he was eating everything: cat food, dog food, plants, everything. And sure enough, during the night there, he died. And Monday morning, I called the vet and told them, you should have listened to me. I told you it wasn't the teeth. Now he's dead. Because during Saturday, I was sad. I had lost my bunny. He was such a personality. I didn't have him for very long. It was just a few months. But, I mean, we caught him in, I think it was August, we caught him, and he died in November that year. And so I didn't have him for very long, but he was such a personality. He immediately just took over the entire household. He was ruling the cats. He was ruling the dog. He was the ruler of everything. He didn't care. He just like, and he wasn't mean about it. He was just like a happy-go-lucky kind of bunny. It was really special. So during Saturday, I was so sad. I was just crying, and I started cleaning. You know, I just needed something to do, and I was cleaning out all the bunny stuff and packing it up because my friend had, you know, I talk about my friend and my daughter a lot, and they had bunnies, and so I figured they can have all this. And I had just done a huge order, so there was like bunny food and bunny stuff for thousands of Swedish crowns, and I just gave it away. So I was packing everything out, cleaning it out, and then I found it. I mean, I knew 2 of my plants were toxic. So I have been cleaning, you know, making sure, checking the leaves, making sure nothing was fallen, making sure they were in a place where he couldn't reach them, because he would eat anything. And you know, there's an old wives' tale saying that animals won't eat stuff that's toxic to them. That's bullshit. Don't ever listen to that. That's bullshit. If you're a pet owner, it's your responsibility to check what the pets are on to, so they don't eat anything toxic. And I have one plant. You've seen it, the one with the big flowers. It had dropped a leaf that I didn't see because it was behind a furniture that it hadn't been in that spot in a very long time, but this was remains from way earlier before, you know, and it was kind of stuck. So when I've been vacuuming under there, it didn't come in the vacuum. It was stuck under there, and I was, you know, doing deep clean because I was upset, and I pulled this bureau out, and under the foot on one of the legs of the bureau there was half leaf stuck, and I could see the bunny marks, and I was just, he got poisoned. He was poisoned. I should not have left the vet. I mean, I knew there was something else going on with him, but I didn't think it was a plant or he eaten something like that. I thought he had eaten maybe he got a hold of, you know, laundry something, and I threw it out there, and they were like, no, then he would have foam around his mouth. You know, it was just, they didn't listen to me. And I've had that issues a lot when I was breeding bunnies and guinea pigs too. Just when you have those small animals, the vets here are really bad at working with them. We had a lot of issues with that, and every time a pet got sick, they were like, oh, you have to put him down. And I was like, no, I want to give him antibiotics, blah, blah, blah. So you kind of had to fight extra for if you have bunnies or guinea pigs or hamsters or rats or whatever type of small pet you have. If you have a dog, a cat, or a horse or a cow or something, no problem. But the small pets, they are really bad at. So yeah, that's the sad story. He died from an old dry leaf that was stuck under a bureau. And I mean, I have been vacuuming and cleaning and everything, but it was stuck under the leg of the bureau. So I didn't even know it was there until I pulled everything out. And I regret leaving the vet. I mean, it was probably too late by then anyway, because he must have eaten it the night before, because he was still eating that night, but in the morning he was like, no. So he must have eaten it during the day before. So it was probably too late already by the time we got to the vet, but at least I could have given him a better death than what he got. So yeah, that's a sad story. And moral of the thing is, if you feel like the vet is not giving you quite, you know, it doesn't quite add up, because you're the one who know the animal the best. You're the one who knows how they normally act, how they normally are, and you are the one who knows that. So if you feel like it's kind of wrong, don't give up like I did. But I was so tired and so hungry and so worried, and every single vet that came in and checked the bunny said it must be the teeth. And they even looked in the teeth, and one of the vets said it doesn't look that bad. It shouldn't be this bad. He only has a little tiny hook on one tooth, and he said that shouldn't give this. And yet that's the diagnosis they got for him. So yeah, I was just gonna do a little quick video, but it ended up kind of long. But I miss my bunny. I don't remember why we started talking about bunnies. I miss my bunny anyway. I miss him. But yeah, he needs to get buried. He's still, I didn't bury him last year. So he's still, I have a freezer that currently has an owl that was hit by a car. Because sometimes the nature, what's that called in English? It's a nature species bank, something like that. They no, never mind. They want specimens in for like rarer animals or something. So I have a kind of seagull that had dwarfism that they wanted, but they never sent the packaging for it. So I have that seagull still there that needs to be sent in. That was also hit by a car. The owl was hit by a car, so that's in there, and I have the bunny. So that's all. I have a big freezer with just 3 animals in it. So I need to bury them. I've been in contact with the people, Nature Conservatives. I don't remember the name of the place. I have it on my email. So I've been in contact with them again, and they say they weren't interested anymore in those animals, so I can just bury them. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bury them together with my bunny. Have a little funeral for them. Poor things. Oh, you're so fast. You're so fast, I can film you. Anyway, so I should probably take the laundry in, because when those guys fly low, usually means rain. And that has a simple reason. I know a lot of people say that's an old wives' tale when the talo, is that the word? Talo, swallow? I don't know. When that bird fly low, it's going to be rain. And that's very simple, because when it's going to be rain, the air pressure gets, it's a lower, different air pressure. And that means the bugs are flying closer to the ground. And since they eat bugs, they also fly closer to the ground. So, yeah, that's that. Oh, my little girl. So we're gonna go to get her just checked out next week. The vet said it looks a lot better. It's so good that we can send in emails with pictures of how it looks and don't have to drive for hours and hours to get there. But now they promised bad weather for a few days, so we'll see how that turns out. I kind of need to get this stuff done. Doing laundry, need to go split some firewood. And it's Friday, so I need to have an extra look at her, because there's going to be a lot of cars, because everyone's coming out to the summer houses. So I actually have my gloves on, and I have my not earmuffs, what's it called? Sound cuppy thingy that you put over your head, over your ears, to cover your ears from loud sounds. So I am gonna start doing this again. So these guys need to be split to smaller pieces to go into the fireplace, and then I also need to go get also need to cut these guys with the chainsaw, and after that also need to get these guys before the grass is taking over too much. Oh, and the wind is picking up again. Sneezing time, guys, sneezing time. Let's go over here. So I have these log pieces here, and also need to clean up the rest of the branches. I've done this area last year, it's helped me with a few of these lobsters. They are huge. They're freaking big, and my back has been so bad. Now I can finally move again. My back hurts, but I can move again. So these are huge thingies. So I need to take them in, and they need to be split too. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me. And here's some plastic. Why is there plastic here? Where does this come from? Probably blown away from my place. So let's take care of it. Hi! You always have to be where I am, don't you? Unless you want to walk away, then you just go. Oh, I've been chasing. If people are laughing at me now, because she just takes off and I run after. She doesn't hear anything. She just in her own little world in the cone, just trotting away. Just da-da-da-da. She just goes bye-bye, and I have to run after her. Like yesterday, I saw her take off over there, and she went off, and I had to run after her. And I was like 10-15 meters behind her the whole way. I was screaming and I was running. When I picked up speed, she picked up speed. When I slowed down, she slowed down. And I saw people laughing at me. I was just screaming at her, like, hey, wait for me. And she just, bye-bye. I'm going for a walk. Yeah, you took me for a run, didn't you? Yeah, you took me for a run. You gonna get mommy slim? Yeah? You gonna make me lose some weight? I think actually it's gonna start raining in a second now. So I should check my laundry. And guess I found the grass. Who is finding my heaps? My little grassy knolls. Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Meow. What are you saying? Oh, you're warm. You're a warm kitty. Yeah, you are. Oh my goodness, I've been talking for 30 minutes. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I know you have better things to do. Hope you have an amazing day. With a lot of laughs. You know, we need more laughter. The world is horrible at the moment, so we need more love, caring, and laughter. Looks like I hate these closed pigs were not good. They don't close properly, so they just go sliding. But I think it's almost dry, just a little bit more. Oh yeah, and these are for fishing rods. If you wonder what these long thingies are, they're for fishing rods. I forgot we had them. I found them in storage. This one's old. I got it in the 80s from my sister. So yeah. But it's still funny. Okay. Back to work. I gotta do stuff, and you guys have stuff to do too, I'm sure. Hope you have an amazing day.